we are going to create a map of Nigeria showing the UTM zones. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so with that, I will go to the folder. Another thing you also need to understand is, as a geospatial analyst, you need to be okay and comfortable working with a database. We'll go into database fully, but I think you already understand that in ArcGIS, and when you're talking about shapefiles, the shapefiles contain different types of files. Each of them have a particular file inside. For example, this is Ebony shapefile that goes down to here. And if you look here, there are about 8 items that have the CEG, the DPF, the PRJ, the SBN, the SPX, then the main AutoCAD file, which is the spaghetti file, the SP, SHP, and then this one as well. So you can see that each of them have a different types of file which combine to be one. So we're going to be working on other different types of vector types of format again, because what I'm saying that if you look here, you see that we have different types of file data format here. You can see here we have .csv, .json, shapefile, tab, PNG, that is microstation, and rest of them. So in normal, we are going to be working on different types of data. So because of that, you really understand that every file, shapefile you created, contain other subfile that make it up as one. Like as you can see, this is for projection, this is for database, and this is shapefile and rest of them. So because of that, you should already understand that you need to structure your data in such a way that you have to be creating a folder for it, and each of them, any work you're doing, have to contain a particular folder. Like so, I am going to create this particular folder, and this is where we'll be working on. So we are going to be working from here. So what I'm saying is that ideally, this is the way I worked on the folder. And let me give you a perfect example with any of this. The reason is that it will allow me easy access to any kind of project. So we are going to be talking about database, how we are going to structure them. But for now, I will want you to understand like what I'm trying to say. For example, let me use this particular map as example. I am working on a project which is African surface lithology. Now, what I did here was that I created 3 of this folder for that particular file, and this first one is what I name as ArcMap. So anything I do about the shapefile is inside here. Then anything I do about the data, I put it inside here. And I know that this folder is for my data, and anything I do about map, like this is the map I finally created, you can see here, this is the map I created. So all of these things, I structured them in such a way that at any point in time, my client or somebody or ask me, can I get the map? I can share this particular folder with the person, or the person ask me, can I get a data? I will share it here with the person, or can I get the file? I have this only. So yeah, this is exactly what we are going to be working on. And now I'm going to do the same thing here. And what I'm going to do here is I can create a folder depending on what I want to name it. So I can put it a shapefile, or I can write it as a map. Now you see here, this is the directory where I want to save the map. So what I will do is I'll copy this, go back to ArcGIS, and I want to save it. Now I am saving it into the directory where we are. You can see here that it is inside this thing. So when I paste it, I can write it Nigeria UTM. So I have it here saved already. Now what happened in ArcGIS is that if you didn't define the projection system here, because each of the layer ought to have a coordinate system, and you can see here, this is G, that is different coordinate system we have here. There are 2 of them that are here, which is, this is geographic coordinate system, and this is projected coordinate system. You already know the difference between those geographic and then the projected coordinate system. This is in degrees in terms of measurements, and this is in meters in terms of measurements.
That's not
Yeah.
nothing understandable.
Yeah. So if you look here, you can see that when I click on this, it is in degree, and this one is in meter. You can see here that the linear unit is in meter, but in this, the linear distance is in degree. You can see here. Yeah. So these are the different things. But what happens is anytime you import the shapefile, it sometimes automatically pick up the shapefile of that particular shapefile you imported. So in that way, I've downloaded the shapefile. You already told me you have the shapefile of Nigeria, so there's no need for us showing you anything about it. So I just need to go to any of the place I saved the shapefile and import it. So that's what I'm going to do right now. This Nigerian database, so I am just going to copy this and then I'm going to paste it here. That takes me exactly to this, and I want to use the Nigerian states, which I will straightly add here, and I have the Nigerian shapefile here. Now,
Okay.
yeah, for the sake of what I want to do, because if you look at the source of this data, it is located inside the place I imported it. It means that if I make any edit on this particular polygon or this particular shapefile, it's going to affect the direct source. So because of that, I am going to now go here and export it. Now, on exporting, I want to save it inside the folder where I'm working. So the best thing to get to the folder I'm working is to click on Home. Home is the location where I save this particular file, which is exactly here. You can see where I save it. So that automatically become the home where I write your name. So that automatically become the home. Now, if I click on home now, it will take me to that location. You can see the home right here. So I am going to change it and put it Nigeria states. So I will change this to shapefile and click OK, and then export it. And they ask me, do you want to add the layer? And I will say yes. Now with this, I can remove this one. Now if you look here, automatically this have generated about how many files? About 8 of them here. So you see different distance. So I have to return back here. And now when I return back in here, so what I need to do is if I go to the attribute information, and you can see that I have the states, and then this one down here, you see this. So let me remove this. I was using of this, so you can see different feed based on the states, the year, and then the area. You can see the rest of all of them here. So this is my attribute table. So now what I want to create is that I want to use this to create the Nigerian zones that have UTM zone 31, zone 32, and zone 33. And if you look critically, you see that each of these zones, for example, the Niger State crosses UTM zone 31 and zone 32. Then in Taraba State, which is this particular one, crosses some part. Adamawa crosses zone 32 and zone 31. So how do I get to know this? Now remember that Nigeria, in normal days, in Nigeria is located in the longitude and latitude. So you know we have 3 and 4. So this is exactly what I know by normally. So in that way, I can use this to divide this thing into 3. How do I divide it into 3? If I enter longitude 3 here, and then I enter latitude 4, for example, if I flash this, do you see where it is showing me? That is 2. So if I go up to 3 and do the same flashing, you see where it is located. So this is longitude, which is located in the northern part. Now if I change this to 4 and make this to 3, and I flash the same thing, you can see where it is showing me here. So if you check the longitude origin of Nigeria, let's say for example, let's say long and lat of Nigeria. So you see that we always say that Nigeria is located in latitude and longitude of this. This is the centroid. But if you look at let me put it bounding Nigeria, and you will realize that Nigeria is located in, that is Lagos is located in this. So I wanted to look for a perfect longitude and latitude that bounded Nigeria perfectly. So if you look here, you can see the way Nigeria is bounded here. Let me use this map as example. You see the Nigeria is bounded here. You can see here in 4 degree, and then in this side it is 4 in eastern side. So you can see 4 here and 4 here. So Nigeria is bounded within this region. So the same thing is what I want to do in here. So in latitude you can see it's up here. So I can choose how many do I want to use here. What I need to do is I need a point. I want to fix a point where I can select, put Nigeria within the boundary box of dividing it into 3. Now if you look at the zones we have, you see that in UTM zone, the UTM zone have a boundary which divided Nigeria into 3 parts. Now that will bring me back to the Google Earth. Now in the Google Earth, I'm returning down here. I'm going to change it to UTM here, and I'll click OK. Now when I change to UTM, if I zoom out a bit, you will definitely see that this particular place here, you can see Warri here. You see the way it divided Nigeria down to the north. Now that is exactly what I want to get. This particular coordinate here is what I want to use. So I need to pick up this and divide it like this. So that is exactly what I'm going to do. So if I change that to here in degree, minutes and seconds and press OK, you will see that this line that crosses Warri here have this coordinate. If I zoom very close, you see that Nigeria here in the east part, this is 3 east, because I want to use this 3 east as 3 east. So if I put 3 east here, because this is 5, now 5 is here, and if I want to use this one in Warri, this is the north, this is the east. So if I return back here, and in the east here, and I put 3, and I put, for example, 4 here, and I want to flash the location, you see where it is pushing me here. Then if I put 4 here as longitude, and then flash the same thing, you see it coming close here. And if I put 5 here and flash the same thing, it is coming like this. And if I put up 6 and flash the same thing, and you see it coming down here. So in this case, if you look here, if I use 5 here and flash the same thing, it is cutting here and passing through Warri. So if I put the point here, and that's automatically put it up here where it is located. This is 4 north and then 5 east. So if I change this, you remember that the eastern part is going this way. Now if I put 15, for example, and flash, and you see where it is taking me. So I need to change the point this way. So I am going to remove 15 here and then replace it with 5 as it is, and that still maintain the place it is here, right here. So if I put it up here and then do flashing, you are going to get it here. Are you with me?
Yes, sir. But this go to XY. Where do you pick the icon?
Okay,
Okay, I've
let's.
seen it. I've seen it.
Yeah,
I've seen it.
yeah, it is. Yeah,
I've
it is
seen
right.
it.
Okay.
Yeah, I've seen it. Okay.
Okay, so why I'm doing like that is that I wanted to look for a way to split this thing into different, like a way I'm going to split it, because my interest is that I want to group them into the different zones, and that is why I decided to use that to now check where am I supposed to make it and where is it supposed to be. So that is why I am trying to like flash it. That's the reason why I'm flashing it to see where it is located. So I am using that to get that done. So in normally it is Nigeria as it is in 6 degrees. So it is divided by 6. The next one is 12. So Nigeria is divided into 6 degrees by UTM. That is why if you look at Google Earth, you will see that the Warri here as UTM, sorry, let me switch it back to UTM, and then UTM, and click OK. And you see here, this particular place that we have right here is 6 degree. This is where it is divided. So because of that, I am going to change this thing to 6. And if I flash this, you see where it is located. Now, because of that, I am going to put the point here, up here, and I want to change this to put it to 4 up here. And this is the 2 point I need. So if these other ones, I don't need them, so I am going to delete them. Now this is the 6 degree and this is the 12. Now I also want to put here, let me put it 8, so that I will have the one at the center. Then I can also choose to put here by 12, so that I can also get it here. So you can see this is along that particular line. Then this is 12. I can also make this also by 6. And you see it flowing along this line. Now the next one I need again is that it's supposed to be add 6 to it, I'll get 12. And if I flash it, you will see it coming down here. So I am going to add this at 12. Then I need to also go that same way. If I am going that same way, I supposed to go up. So I will go to north and change this to 8. And if I flash this, you can see where it is located. So I can add the point here, and I can also change this to 12. I'll add it up here, and then let me make it to 14 to cross over to it. So, and I will add this. Now if you look here, you will see that these have divided Nigeria into the UTM zones of zone 31 and zone 32. Now I can close this and I can clear selection. Now you can see these have divided this into this, and these have divided this into this. Now I'm going to use manually to split this thing into these different zones. So what I'm going to do is I am going to go to this and go to select all. I can select all by using these tools to highlight all of them and select. That will select all, or I can select all by using polygon. Now in polygon, it's just to click around where I want to select like this, double click, and that will select everything in there. Or
sorry, polygon.
yeah, that is if I want to select
Where
all
do you
of them.
pick the polygon from?
Here, see
Select.
here,
Okay.
these are different selection.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to teach you selection by as a topic. We're going to talk about selection as a topic because it is very, very important, because I need to tell you by attributes, by location, even by graphics where it is needed. So, but I'm just selecting manually. By lasso is just by drawing around where you want to select. And then by circle is by hitting somewhere at the circle. Like for example, let me clear selection. If I'm using circle, I can hit somewhere at the circle and drag. The radius, any place that circle radius cut, it will be selected. Then, and by line is by drawing a line like this. Any place that the line touch, it will be selected, and where the line
Okay.
will be selected. So I'm going to clear selection. Now another way you can make this same selection,
Using line.
yeah, this is by using line, select by line. So another way you can make this selection is by going to the attribute table and open it. So let me reduce the size. Now if I want to select this, let me reduce this a bit. Now you can see the map by this way, by the left hand side. If I want to select all of them, I can go here and drag down to the end of it, and I will leave it, it will be selected. So I'm just trying to show you different ways you can make your selection. And I'm going to clear. So, or I am going to select it by clicking on this and hold shift. If I click on the first one and hold shift, go to the last one and click, yeah, that will select all of them. What is it within that range? But if I want to select Kogi, I will select Kogi, and I want to select Lagos State, I will hold Control this time, not Shift, and I will select Lagos. And I also want to select Taraba.
Okay.
I'll hold Control. And I want to select Akwa Ibom, and I'll hold Control. So this is a way I can select it this way.
Okay.
Yes. Then a second way I can also select, I'm just trying to show you different types of selection. And I want you to go through it when we are done. Try multiple of them, and I'm going to treat selection with you as a topic where we are going to do different aspects of selection. So in that way, you can see here that I have this Nigeria as an attribute table. So the common thing within this is name 0 is Nigeria. So I can use select by attribute where I have this, and I'll go to say Nigerian state, and I will say name 0 that is equal to, you can see I'm building a query here, and then I get a unique value, Nigeria. If I verify that is true, and if I click apply, that is going to select the whole Nigeria for me. Then that's what I want to select. But if I'm looking for it, not Nigeria, but I want to select Lagos, Ebonyi, so what I can do is I will go to the name 1 here, because this attribute table is where the name are located as 1. So I'll go to name 1 and I will say equal to, and then if I want, I'll go to unique value. I'm looking for Ebonyi, I'm going to select Ebonyi, or name 1 that is equal to, let me select Osun states. So I'll go to Osun and I'll click apply. So it will only select Ebonyi and Osun state, as you can see. Now this is what we call SQL language, which is standard or structured query language, which we use select from where. We're going to come into it, but I'm just trying to show you different way I can make my selection. So on this case, I've selected, so I'm going to clear this. I want to split it based on this point I put up here. So the best thing I can do is, I will now go to this and select all of them. Since there is nothing here, I've selected all of them. Then I will edit this particular layer, right click, go to edit and start editing. And now when I click start editing, then you can see these tools here where I have edit vertices. Then the second one is the reshape tools here, but what I'm going to use is this particular one, which is called Polygon. Now when I click on Polygon, what I need is to come to this point I put above here. Remember it is selected, and then look at the point I put above Nigeria, and I'm going to put, I'm going to put it at the center here, as you can see here. You can see it. I'll click on it, and then I'll go down to the last one under it here, because this is the one I need down here, this one here. If you zoom now, you see that this is the particular point I'm looking for. So what, the center. What I will do is I will double click on it and look at what is going to happen. You can see the way it's automatically splitted it. So this is the first way. I have splitted it into zones, and you can see that thin line across it. The next one is to go on this again and go down to the center where you can see this here, and I will return down here. You can see it here, and then I'll double click it, and then that's going to split it across that zones the way it is located. Could not complete this. The reason is that this part is selected, this part is not selected. So I have to use these tools to make that selection. It has to be selected. Click on the polygon, click on the center of this particular one, go down here and click on the center again. So what I need to do when I get here, all I need to do is at the center I will double click. That's going to split it for me. Now you see that these have been divided into 3. Since I've divided it into 3, you can see the line. I can turn this off and then use these tools to select this, and then I don't need it again. You can also import points, putting these things in coordinate and import it whichever way, but I prefer using this to also work on it. So if you turn on this, you will see that Nigeria is divided into 2 different zones. So if you click here, you see that Niger State is divided into 3. You can see. You can see the way they are divided.
I have a question, but you are done, sir.
No, go ahead. I told you anytime you want me to stop, you tell me. We are together here. Go ahead.
Like in picking
Okay.
those points from XY,
Mm-hmm.
and where we have this sorry, latitude and longitude.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought for us to get a point, like we are using both lat and long.
Okay.
But according to what you did now, I think you did like latitude first, like six this thing, like you tried six what's it called, and you neglected longitude.
Yeah,
Like
there
you
is
were working
only
with
longitude, right? I didn't touch latitude.
uh,
Okay, yeah.
like I was like maybe both of them are working together.
Yes, let me.
It's just like
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Let me
no,
explain to you.
like okay,
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Now, if you look here, whatever we're doing is like a graph. Hope you know.
yes, yes,
Now, I am trying to divide this line. Hmm? You know, yeah, if I'm dividing this line, what it means is that the whole line that I am using is the same place, like nothing changed. All right, so what I'm trying to say is if you look at this and you see here that I have a graph that is in x and y, that is, this is y axis and this is x axis, right?
eh,
Now, this is 0, this is 1, this is 2, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. Now, I want to draw a straight line here across 1. Just don't mind my straight line, but assume it's a straight line. Now, I want to get a point here, and I want to get a point here. Now, I want to assume that Nigeria map cut across like this, moving down. This is Lagos, cut it like this and go to Port Harcourt. This is part of Nigerian map. Now, it means that if I want to get to this point, now this is 1, right? You agree with me?
yes, sir.
In x-axis, line 1 is going this to the end. So it means that
Okay.
this is another 1, 2 going to the y-axis. So it means that if I want to get to this point now, what will this value be? Just give me an assumption. You give me an answer. In x-axis, what will it be?
Maybe
In x-axis, this point,
it is in X axis. It
what
will
will
be
it be?
one,
Okay, 1 comma.
one.
In y-axis, what will it be?
It's not up to one.
Yeah, so give me any point. That's why I
Maybe
said give me.
maybe 0.6.
So I'm going to put 0.8 here. Now I'm going to up here. Give me the value of x here.
One.
Okay. Give me
Okay.
the value of y.
Okay. 1, 2.3 or 2.2.
So let's use
2.3.
2.3. Did you understand what happened now?
I get it now.
Yeah, so that is what happened because I'm following on this line. There is nothing
Yes,
that
you have the
changed.
same X.
And yes, it has the same
Okay.
x.
So it
So
has the same stick.
yes. So what happened is that I only make a changes on the, you remember that longitude and latitude. Now, this is a longitude. Normally, if you divide the earth into different
A
parts,
circle.
so it's going to
Yes.
be like, it's going to be a circle. And then we say that the
Yes.
longitude is a line that runs from the,
Yes. From the Greenwich meridian.
yeah, and the latitude is what run like this. And this is 0 degree.
Equator. Yes.
This is 90 degree, which is 90 degree north. So this is 0, which is the equator. Now, it means that if you are talking about the north, and this is the south, this is the east, and this is the west. Now, if you are talking
Yes, now.
about the changes, longitude is a line that run across this. Now, if
Okay.
yes, now if you are looking at here, you see that when I flash this, look at where I flash, it is 14. Now, what if I go down to the latitude and change this latitude to 10 and flash it again? It is changing. Now, why is it changing that way? Because latitude is the changes that take place within this way. This is latitude. Latitude take place
Okay.
within how it change within this, the northern or towards the east.
Okay.
Yeah, why longitude will
Okay.
change that way. Yeah, so that is the reason
Okay.
why when I am changing this
Okay.
and I flash again, it is changing. I'm going to flash.
Okay.
Yeah, and this I didn't
So
change
we now
this.
check. We check the what's it called, like the states itself,
Yes.
or like are we going to
Okay, how do you get the value?
like the thing is for me to get the exact same thing now
Okay.
is like we are going to use the Google Earth. So we check the lat and long, like the information from Google
Okay.
Earth.
Yeah, why I
So that's
didn't
what I will use.
yeah, why I didn't talk about this is that I assume that you already know map projection. I thought maybe there is a course they taught us when I was in school, the name map projection. So with
Yes,
that,
yes,
yeah,
map projection.
yes, so with that, I was able to know how Nigeria is divided. Now, let me take you back to teach you this, even though Nigeria is not divided like that. So let me give you example. When you're talking about UTM zones, the world is divided into 60 zones. Did you get that?
Okay, sir.
Now the world is divided into 60 zones. Do you have your calculator?
Calculator.
Yes.
Yeah, I can use my phone.
Okay. If you check the globe, hmm, and if
Okay.
it is divided into 60 zones, can you press on your calculator 360 divided by 60?
6.
Okay. Do you know the reason why we are using 6 degree? You remember here? Just look here and understand what I'm saying. Look
Okay, let
at
me check.
look at where I'm going to use 6. Look at where I'm going to flash. You see where the 6 line is flash?
Yes.
Now, why do I change this into 12? Because I added another 6 to it. Now, I will return back to the Google Earth. Look at this. The world is divided into 60 zones. You see here?
Yes.
Now, if you look here, you see that I have 0 into 6. So each of them is 6 degree apart. Now, you can see the 60. This is 6. Now, what is angle at a point? Angle at a point is what?
That one there.
Hmm?
At a point. 360 now.
Now, since it's 360, if you divide 360 by 60, what is it? That's the
6.
answer. That's 6. So, if you look here, that is how
Mm.
this is each of this angle, this of this is divided apart into this 60. Now, if you keep on going, you will see that Nigeria fall into the circle or the division of 31, 32, and 33. You can see the map of Nigeria here.
Okay.
You
Okay.
get a point. So Nigeria is found within this.
I get it now.
Yeah, so that is exactly what
Okay.
that's exactly what happened.
Okay.
Yeah. See, there are some of the
Yes, sir.
countries.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, there are some of the countries that are
Okay.
very small that they are within one zone. There are other countries like if you look at Equatorial Guinea is small. You see, it is really within one zone. They don't have problem. But we in Nigeria, we are in 3 zones because of the land mass size of Nigeria. So we fall within 3 zones. As you can see, Nigeria map here.
Sorry, hold on, sir. Yeah, yeah, this particular place we are. Mhm. Like along that 33, zone
Okay.
33.
Okay.
The what's it called? The line
Okay.
that demarcates it, that white line.
Yes, this line. Okay.
Hey, if I now want to get like that exact point, Like I want to know the exact location here.
Okay, here, you want to know the exact location of this place?
Yes, like okay, if I want to do my own now, okay, you give me an assignment now,
Yes, but you are going to
and I
do
want to.
you're going to do assignment, not that if I give you, because you're
So
going
I'm asking ahead so that
okay. How you know it is
now,
this? Since I have taught you this, I told you that Nigeria is divided into
like you
three
can't
zones.
just cut anyhow because it is something that it must be like it is static. It's not changing.
Yes.
Like the
Mm.
state
Yes.
is not changing. So I have to be exact.
Yes. So
So so,
what
but
got
if I'm just doing trial and error, if I'm
okay.
using okay, I'm using 12 degree east and there will be something north, and but it should have like an exact geolocation.
Okay, now this is how we are going to get it. I told you there are different ways you can do it, but I don't want you to do trial and error. Now the first thing you know that in the longitude part, it have to be 6 degree. See what I'm going to do?
For the first part, for the first okay
Yes.
one.
Yeah, I'm going to click on this. The first thing is that it's going to be in 6 degree. Now, let me put this one as 0. I don't want to put anything here, but I just want to flash it.
Okay,
Now, do you see where 0 is located?
okay.
Now, I want
It
to,
is outside Nigeria.
yeah, this is Nigeria because Nigeria, when I bring Nigeria map, what I just need to know is that in degree, like the way it is, I have to put 6 degree based on the shapefile I have here. Because it is in UTM that I want to split in to show how the UTM is being shown in Nigeria. So what I'm going to do is that I am going to put 6 degree here and I'll flash it. Remember I told you 6 degree. Now it is far from Nigeria. Nigeria is located in the degree of 4. Like if you put 4 north, if you flash this, you see that it's very close to Nigeria.
Okay,
Now, this particular latitude here is okay. The
okay.
only thing that is going to change, because I want to go up and down, I will only be changing this. If I add 14 to this,
The minutes.
yeah, no, the degree, latitude.
Okay,
If I change this and flash it now, see where it's going to be. This
okay.
is
That's 14.
that's
6,
14.
14 not.
Yeah, this is, and then I'm returning back
Okay,
to 4. Look at what again? This is that's 14.
14 is
I
still
will change
14.
this now to 4. Now flash it. Do you see where it comes? Now, if you look and I see that
Okay,
I didn't change longitude because it is 6.
okay,
Now, when I went to get to the boundary of zone 32 and 33,
okay.
right? I have to
Yes,
I have to add 6 to this.
12 to change
So
it to
it
12.
become 12. When I flash, do you see it?
Uh-huh.
And then let me change this to
Okay, 12
14.
is 14.
Yes.
Okay, I get it. I get
Yeah,
it.
so that is how I get it because my
I get
my
it.
yeah my lecturer in school said that map projection taught me those things I explained to you now in the jam box. I give you this perfect example and you can remember what I did here. Then and
Yes.
I told you that Nigeria is divided into 360 and this 360 if we say 360 like this divide by 60 you're going to have 6 degree. So the zones are 6 degree apart.
Interesting.
Is that okay? Yeah, so
Yes, sir.
you have to note that if you continue you see it goes in that way, you keep on going that way until you get to 60 and when you get to 60 somewhere here, you will see that it return back to 1. You can see it here. Are we together?
Okay, sir.
Can I proceed?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so now the next thing I need to do is, if you look here now, you see that
Sure.
I have divided this thing into different zones, as you can see here. You can see here. But now, before I proceed to doing something else, because of the polygon, it is easy faster in QGIS, but we'll go into that. If you look here, see that something that I selected here is showing here. The reason is that
Yes,
there is
yes.
a topological relationship with them. Now this, instead of me now clicking on vertices, because if I click on vertices here, first and foremost, let me save this. Now if I click on edit vertices here and click on this one and say edit vertices, now if I say here that I will need to be removing, this is the different tools, continuous shaping tools, this is stretch proportionally, this is sketch, this is finish sketch, this is add vertices. Now if I go here and say remove this, for example, let me do this first, and I say remove, you see now that it's creating an empty map here. That is an issue. You can see here. You can see it. So it is creating an open this thing here for me. So what I could do is I am going to do Ctrl Z to return back to what it is. So what I can do in some cases, because though this is wrong, but I'm going to show you the right way to do it in our next thing. So I can come to this place and go to use this and then edit this and cut it off. Now when I cut off this small proportion, and you see that this part is still aligning with this, so I can go here, I'm just trying to show you something up, and I go down here and cut off this small portion and then stop editing and then return back here. You will see that this bigger side is now on its own. Now the side that is not on its own is this particular small one. Let me zoom close and show you. If I click on this, this will be selected to this. You can see now, if I click on this, do you see what happened? And if I click on this, this is on its own now. So it means that if I select this part, if I select this and select this other side will not be affected. Now, another one that is going to do like that again is Edo State. So I can also zoom close to the Edo State, a little tip of here. This is like a manual way of doing the same thing. I'm going to show you a perfect way of doing it. So if I click on this, and you see I've cut off this small part, and if I zoom out to
Sorry,
it,
what is the tool you are picking? Like
okay,
editing.
the same cutting tools you are using, cut polygon tools.
Okay, cut polygon tools.
Yes, yes. So if I go return back and clear and click on this, you see that it's still selecting this one here, this one by this side.
Okay.
Yeah, you see
So I'll
this
go
is
to cut polygon tools.
yes. I use cut polygon tools. Now since it's still selecting
Okay.
this one, I can still do the
Okay.
same thing here by taking off
Okay.
this part, small part here.
Okay. Okay.
I double click. Then I will return back to the main one to see what I have, and you can see that this part is still selecting the main part. So like I said,
Yes.
this is like a trial and error method I want to show you
Yes.
on how you can get it clean, but I'm going to show you a
Yes.
perfect way of getting it done. So
Yes.
now if you look here, you see this is this and this is this one.
Still selecting. Yes.
Yeah, so it is still selecting. Now there are several ways I can get this fixed up. Now what if I say come here and divide this main one into two to see where it is located, and then select this one and click on this and say, oh, it is this upper side that is it, not the downside. So it means that I can zoom close to this little bit top here and then do a little bit cut off here. And when I do a little bit cut off here, you automatically see that if you go back here, you select this here, you see that this is cleared. Now if you click here, it will supposed to select this small part that is here. Do you see what I'm saying here?
Okay. Okay.
You see that small part that is here?
Yes. Yes.
I can fix it by selecting this and say edit vertices, and then this is selected.
Okay.
I can use this now to say remove this, and when I stop editing, for example, stop editing and save, you will see that this is going to come up like this. So I think I made a mistake, but let me see. Okay, see, you see this is now on its own. See, it's on its own. Click here, it's on its own. Click here, This is on its own. Now, this one is part of delta. I am going to show you how we are going to fix it. Now, to make this faster for us, I'm going to label this feature to have the name of the state labeling on it. So I'm going to properties, and going to the properties because I want to use this to label the rest of them. I'm going to label in field. Remember, from attribute information, the name of the state is located in name 1, and I'm going to put it up here.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm going to clear selection. Now, if you look here, you see that delta is labeled here and delta is labeled here. You can see now. Also, delta is labeled everywhere. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to select using shift and select this remaining delta. You can see delta here. Instead of having this line across here, I am going to go to this and start editing. Go to edit tools and start editing. Now I am going to go to the editor here and say merge, and I click OK. This become one. Is that okay? Yes. Now click on Biasa. You see here, this is Biasa and this is delta. So all of them are together. If you also select this, both of them, all these places are delta states, then I can still go here and say merge it, and both of them become a single state.
Okay, what's the work of buffer?
We are going into that. Buffer is the process of creating a specific distance along the same path, either the same direction or the same size. So, but we are going to work on that. This is the way you use buffer to create a polygon around a feature on a specific distance like this. Use the same kind of distance. So we are going into that. So don't worry. We are going to the tools one by one. I am going to explore every tools you have here, and we're going to use them one by one. I wanted to start from fresh, but
Hello.
yeah, I'm with
I
you.
can't. Okay. 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 No problem.
Yeah, so we're going to go it one by one. Now, you see we have divided this into lines, and here it's showing
Okay. Okay.
Niger State, Zamfara, Zamfara, Boronu, Boronu. So the next thing we're going to do is that we're going to stop editing and we say save. Now, I'm going to open here and open attribute table. Now, I want to create my own attribute, add attribute table to it. So in here, I'm going to go to, sorry, let me drag this thing out here. Here, I'm going to go to here. When I open attribute table, then I'm going to click here. I'm going to say add field. I'm going to write in zones. In the zones, I'm going to use double,
Okay.
or
Okay.
I'll use small integer because I just need two numbers. Then I'm going to click
Okay.
OK, and that will add these zones here. Do you see what happened here?
Okay. Yeah.
Now, now look at what I'm going to do now. I'm going to return back here. I'm going to select this, everything that is within here. You get what I'm saying? I'm going to click on this. I'm going
Yes.
to select. So I'm going to select like this. You see that I've selected whatever that is within here, which is reflecting on this table here.
Yes.
Now I'm going to the zone here. I'll right click and I will say field calculator, calculate geometry. So my interest is on the field calculator. Are we together?
Yes, sir.
So then I'll click yes, and I will say zones is equal to 33 because this is in zone 33. I'll click OK, and that's going to process and it's going to compute this for me. If you see now that all the places that it has selected, if you go down to the zones, you can see that they are in zone 33. But these ones that I
Okay.
didn't select during the row does not is still 0.
And zero.
Yes. Now the next thing I'm going to do again is I'm also going to drag
Select.
across like this. Now that's selected the zones. Now this delta here, I
Sorry,
don't
please. Where do you pick that select
the same
select
select
from?
the same select by
Okay,
rectangle.
from rectangle.
Yes,
No problem.
I just go there and click on it. Now we are going to do
Okay.
selection, the ones at the center here. I'm going to select.
Okay.
Now, it selected this one across here. You see the one is selected across here. So
Uh, yes.
I'm going to hold
We're going to cut polygon too.
no, I am going to, because I've already cutted it, so I'm going to hold control.
Okay.
Hold control and click on it.
Control.
Oh shit, I made a mistake. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I made a mistake. So, or I can manually be holding shift and be selecting like this, but that's going to take me forever. You understand? This is going to take me
Okay.
forever. But this is another way I can get it done, but that's going to take me forever. So, so that's why I'm holding control and I'm dragging across it, and that's selected the whole this thing for me. Now, including Taraba, you can see now it has been selected. I'm going to the zones, right click,
Okay.
and go to feed calculator. This is in zone what?
Zone 32.
Okay, so I'll add 32 to it and I'll click OK. And that's going to calculate and it's done. Now it is going to remain this one by this
Hello.
side. Yeah, I'm with you. So it's going to remain these ones
Okay.
by this side. These ones here that does not have
Okay.
zone. So if you look here, then another way I can get this done is that since I have done every other thing remaining the other side, I can come here and say ascend, sort ascendingly. You can see the ones that are with 0 here. I can come here and select this and hold shift and select the first one, and you see that the ones that are not with 0 are selected, but FCT is also selected, so I can hold control to remove it. So you see here I'm returning back to select, then I will hold shift and remove this, and then I'll right click, and then I'll go to feed calculator. Which zone is this one?
Zone 31.
Okay, so I will enter zone 31. I'll click OK. That's going to compute it. Now, unfortunately, there are some of them that are still in 0 that we miss. So in that way, I'm going to right click
Wow.
and sort accordingly. If you click on this, you see that Abuja is not selected, then Nasarawa is not part of it. Then you can see that small one. Let's check the zone is it is in zone 32. Then this one, let's go to it. It is in zone 32 too. So we miss it because they are small. Zoom out a bit. This one is in zone 33. Then this one is on 31, 31, and then 31. So what we could do is we go to this one here that have the Ondo. If you look at part of Ondo a bit, is in zone 32. We hold it to the beginning. You see they are selected, and that's supposed to be in zone 32. We return back to field calculator and say zone 32. Now click OK, and that is done. Then we return back to this 0 down to here, and we have zone 31. So we can also right click and then feed calculator and make it in zone 31.
Okay.
Then I'll click OK.
Okay.
Is that okay now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is done. So I'm going to bring out my table of contents. Let me pin it here where it's supposed to be. Table of contents. Now I will return back to the layer. I'll go to the properties. Now I want to put colors to it. I'll go to the properties.
Symbology.
Yeah, go to the symbology. And then can you tell me the best column I'm going to select to show me results based on what we have done now?
Zone.
Yeah, okay, so that's perfect. So we go here, category, and then we go down to category, we go down to open up the field and select zones. Remove this and say add all. You can see zone 31 and zone 32. Click apply, and that's going to create our map.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. But
Wow. Wow. Wow.
there is another problem which we are going to solve now. It is labeling it
Okay.
into Niger and Niger, Para and Para. You understand? Ondo and
Okay.
Ondo
Instead of one.
instead of one. So what we need to do is we go to the properties here, and when we go to the property, so what we need to do is that we go to the labeling and then define the symbol. What we need to tell it is that we don't need a duplicate label. So in that, we go to label tab, and then go to the placement here, and then go to placement here, and say remove duplicate label. With that, all our distance will have to clean it up, and it have to remain with one label. You can see now, Kogi, there is no duplicate. So the next thing we could do is we go to Symbology. We can say in all the value, which is properties of all the symbol, we can go in here. Maybe if you want to change the outline, we can increase all of them once. Maybe we can probably make it black, and then click this and click apply, and all of them will have this kind of this. But if it is not looking nice for you, you still go down here, go to Symbology for all the properties, and reduce this thing to like something like 0.1, and then click OK and apply, and that's true. So whichever way you want it to look, that depends on you. You go to labeling tab, and then probably change the size, then load it. If you click apply, the size of the labeling will change, as you can see. And once again, you click OK. So this is for how we are going to make it up. Then the next thing we're quickly going to do is that we go to the view, which you can click on view here and change to layout view, or click on this and change to layout view. Now, several people used to go here and select the layout and set up the page and select the type of page they want to use. This is by choice. For me, I have my reasons of using a particular distance the way I want it. So for me, I'm going to use A4, which Nigeria is supposed to be in the portrait format. So because of the size or the way it's looking, so I'm going to put it up in parts of landscape like this. Now click OK. Now, many people used to use many ways, but this is my own method. Like some people can just go to the layout and add the layout of their choice and then the way they want it to look. But me, I don't like using that because sometimes it gives me too much gap around my paper. For the fact that I selected A4, so what I'm going to do is that I'm going to zoom close to here, and I'm going to use this guideline. I will click on the first one here, and I'll click on the first one here, and I will probably count 1, 2, 3. I'll click on it, and I'll count 1, 2, 3. I'll click on it on this edge, and I will return back to this edge because my neckline is supposed to be on the same size, and I will do the same thing. I will offset 1, and I'll count 1, 2, 3. I'll click, and I will do
Okay,
1.
that is under page setup.
Yeah, that
Under
is
that
under.
page setup.
Yeah, that's. I'm already on the. I've already clicked on the view, where I am in layout view here.
The view.
Yeah, I already.
Layout view.
Yes. So I'm also going to count 1, 2, 3. That is 1, 2, 3, and you can see it up here. So if I click on it, you can see I will drag this to here, and I can drag this to here.
Okay.
So for me, the reason why I use this is that it gives me
Oh,
a
sorry, how will it show that blue line?
once, because the blue line is coming here because I clicked on this guy. This is a meter that this is a line,
Okay,
a ruler.
the
Yes.
mm, mm.
So I offsetted one and
Okay,
I
I will
also
click
give it
on it,
one.
Abby.
Yeah, click on it, it's supposed to come out.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can see it's coming out, putting it perfectly on the paper. So the next thing I can
Okay.
do is to zoom to layer, and then it fits the Nigerian this to me perfectly like this. Then I'll go to the scale, and then this is 6 million and something, so I will change this thing to 00 because I want it to be on a perfect 000, then which I did here.
Okay. One ratio what?
Yeah, I'm using 1 is to 6 million. Yes. So because I want it to be a perfect, because when I zoomed to layer, it was not giving me a perfect shape, but I want it to be, yes. Yeah, I am going to teach you about bookmark later. It will be a particular a topic on its own with another, a topic on its own with another tools like maybe selection, so that you will understand bookmark. So we're going to talk about bookmark later. I have reason why you need to know bookmarking very well. So you can see here that I have done this and it is fitting. It's okay for me. Then the next thing I can do is go to the insert, go to the title. You can add using title or tests. Any of them can work.
Okay.
But let me use tests.
Okay.
And I'm going to edit it and say Nigeria UTM zones, for example. And you can see it here. I'm going to drag it to top here. And I have this here already, which is draw. Select the size. This one is just like a way of putting our distance, so I can put it up here. You can see here.
Okay. Wow.
So I will right click. I made a mistake. Go to property and change it to UTM, not UTN. And then I'll put the zone into small letter the way I want it to be, and I'll click OK. And this is making it bold for me. You can see this is Nigeria UTM zone. Okay, let's put it Nigeria UTM zone map, or map of Nigeria UTM zone. Which one do you think that is better?
Map of
Okay,
Nigeria ATM. Map of Nigeria ATM zones.
so you can see I put it as a map of Nigeria UTM zone. Now this is touching this, but this is still a little space on the ground. I can click on it, go to this tools hand, this hand here, and then drag the hand down a bit. Now I'll draw the tools, and this is showing me perfectly the way it is. Now I want to a bit make it look fancy, that is adding up. Then I can go to the properties of the text. Now change the symbol, then edit symbol, and let's go to the mask and let's add a mask of 2, and then let's use a color like looking at, I don't know, what is your best color?
Blue.
Blue.
Yes.
Okay, so let's go. I think this is blue, right? So let's use blue. So let's use the blue like. So if you look at the color of UTM, it automatically changed to that kind of color. Like this is the masking, the way you
Mask. Where?
yeah,
I can't get it. Okay, change symbol.
change symbol.
Under change symbol. Okay.
Under change symbol, go to edit symbol again. Now
Okay.
when the edit symbol comes, you can see general, formatters, advanced, and this is mask. Select hello.
Mask.
Yeah,
Okay.
select hello, and then click on symbol and select the color of your choice. Click OK, click OK, click OK, click OK. Now this gives you this color of black, masking it with blue. So this is a perfect example of it.
Wow.
So once that is done, I will click on this to return it to zoom. Then the next thing is insert, click on scale, and I like to use something simple. I will select this for me. You can select whatever is your choice. Put it where you want to put it. Me, I'm going to put it here. Then I'm also going to click on insert, click on not arrow, then select whatever you want. For me, I want my life simple. I will select this and then bring it down here, so I can reduce the size. It's too much, then still reduce the size. It's too much, then it's still much. So you can see it here. Then I want to place it here, or I want to place it here. So depending on the cartographic rules, place it at the right place. Then the next thing that is remaining again here is the same way you add your symbol, legend, sorry. Now this is already here. I don't need to go to preview. I keep on clicking on next. So for me, I'll just click on here to preview and finish. Then it will bring it down here. Now I will zoom now to make changes on it. So I'm zooming up a bit. Now I want to place it here. Now I will click on this to move this a bit backward.
It's not showing again.
You see?
Okay, I can see that.
Okay, so now in this legend, I want to put outline to it. So let me put it the way I want. Then you see here, I want to put this here. Now I want to change the way it's looking. If it is rectangle, okay, let me start with general tab. This is okay. Everything here is normal. Then in items, I don't want it to show Nigerian state. I will go to the Nigerian state
Okay.
here, right click, properties, and heading go, layer name go, click on this and apply. This brings it like this only. But
Okay.
I want it to put zones, so I'm going to use layer, show heading, and then click apply. It shows me the zone. Now, under layout, if I want this thing, this is a rectangle, I want it in a circle, ellipse, I will click on this and it will change to this.
Wow.
I want it in a curved rectangle, I will click on this, it will show me this. Then this is where it is. Inside frame, I want to put a frame on it, so I can put this kind of frame. I'll click apply, that's the frame.
Okay.
I want to put a background, then I always like using gray, and then I put it up like this. It goes, size, all this can be adjusted, and I will click OK. So if you drag,
Okay.
it will be able to show you something like this. But I want to put it in, I want it to write UTM zone 31 not. I can quickly go to the property here, go to the properties. I want it to be UTM zone 32 not. So, but in that way, I have to remove these zones here to avoid it like a repetition. So I'm going to put it UTM zone 32 not. So I'll go to symbology, then I'll come here, and I will say, I will say UTM
Okay.
zone 31 knots. I want it to be in full like this. So I'm going to copy, come down here, paste, come here, paste, replace this 31 with 32, replace 31 with 33, and click apply. And automatically, that's going to make changes on this. Then it means that I have to return back to it here and go to this to remove the UTM that I have here. You can put it up anyway. So I have to go to item, right click, go to properties, go to zones, click OK, click OK. And that's going to remove the UTM zone, so I can reduce the size. And that is done. Now, the next thing I need to do is here, Nigeria will use kilometers, so I'm not going to use miles. So I'm going to change here, and then go down to this, and change this thing from the miles you're seeing here to kilometers. That's a little adjustment I want to make. So this is going to come into kilometers. Click apply, and it's going to be in kilometers. As you can see, I'll click OK. So this is a way I can arrange this. I want this kilometer to be on top because of the space. I want this kilometer to be written by the top right. So I will still go to the property, right click on it, go to the property, and then go to the location here, position, and say above right, and I click apply, and you see it coming like this. Now, to make this perfect number, I am going to reduce this to be 500 because I don't want that 502 that it is showing me. So I want it to be like only 500, as you can see here. So this is okay for me. Then the next thing is click on this to center it. And I can put up here, down here, as I want. Maybe insert tests, and click on tests, and I will say produce by, then I can put whatever I want in here. I can put my name here, so I'm going to put my name. So, and you can see it up here, coming here as produced by. I can put my logo if I have a logo. I can put other information I want to put depending on however I want
How
it.
will I put logo?
Yeah, if I want to put a logo, then put B. Let me bold it. I want it to look bigger. So if I want to put a logo, I don't know where my logo is, but I'm going to look for any logo and put. So in that way, I'm going to go to here. So let me save. I'm going to go to insert, go here and click on picture. Then I am going to use a particular logo in here. Click on document. I think there is a logo I saved somewhere. So let me pick up a logo I have and show you.
Okay, in
So
JPEG. Abi?
Yeah, in JPEG. So I am going to use this particular logo in JPEG, and you can see I have a Chromapas logo here. For example, I'll click on add and it's going to come in like this. So if it is the logo, I think I need to remove this and select the second one, insert picture. I think I click on the one that is looking transparent. So I don't know which one, but it's not transparent, so you need to get a logo that is transparent, and you can reduce it and put it up there. So if you want to have any property you want to change on it, you can always check it area, frame picture, and you can make adjustment. Save as a part
Okay.
of the document. If you click apply, it will become part of the document if that's what you want. So save as part of the document. So you can see here, you can put the logo where you want to put it, wherever that you want it, and then you can also reduce the size as small as you want it and put it where you want to put it. So this is just it. And when you are done, for example, you see it here, you put up with whatever you want to put. Now I am going to quickly save it and I'm going to export here. Now on exporting, after arranging it the way you want it, if you want to put a background color on the map, is left for you. I think you already know how you can put a background color on the map if you want to. For me, I'm going to click on home and I will return a bit backward. This is the folder I will create a new folder that I'm going to name as maps, and then I'm going to change this into PDF here, and I will reduce this thing to, I want to use 300, which is default, because 1000 is much. I was using the 1000 for purpose. So I can click here, save, and I'm going to export. So it's going to load and export. It has been exported. I will go back to the place where we're working on. As you can see, this is the maps, and I can open this. Now if you look at this, this is what we created here, but there is two things missing which we are going to fix right quickly.
Yes, the grid.
The grid is not there, and the neat line does not have a bounding neat line. So I'm going to return back to it. Now if you look here, that is the reason why I have this line here for the neat line bounding the paper. So I'm going to insert neat line, and I will say inside the margin, I'll click OK. Now I will drag this to match with this, and I will also drag the
Okay,
down.
I did not get that. Sorry.
Okay, I'm returning back. Now I am going to click home. I will go to insert neat line, click on it, and I will click on place inside margin here, and then I'll click OK.
Please, where do
Then
you pick the grid?
I'll
The
return it
grid
back,
from?
insert.
Okay.
Yes, so I'm going to click on
Insert.
neat line,
Neat line. Okay. Okay. Okay.
place inside the margin, click OK.
Okay.
Then I'll drag this a bit
Uh,
to match with this first rectangle. Look at this first blue line you can see.
okay. 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 Okay.
I'll drag it inside as you see here. So when I drag it inside here, you can see it
Not
selected.
dragging.
Yeah, I will drag it inside. You see where it's snapping? I'll drop it. Then I'll go to this other end, zoom to this other end again, drag it, and it is snapping. You can see. Now the next thing is, if you click on File, Export, go to the same place you want to export again and export again. You see we have added a neat line, like a grid line, into it. So this is,
Okay.
yeah, so we have added a grid line into it now, as in the neat line, sorry. So I'm going to select and save, and do you want to save, I will say replace it. So when I wait for it now to finish exporting, and when it is done exporting, return back here. If you refresh, you will see that it is now having a neat line around it with the same perfect
Oh,
offset. Now this is the reason why
wow.
it's doing this. Now the next thing is return back here. Either select the map, click here. Either you select the map like this. When you select the map, you will see that the map is selected. And right click, go to the property. This is the first method. Or you go to this property here where you have layer, go to the property. Both of them are the same thing. Yes. So now go to the grid, click on new grid. Now this is graphical. I will prefer to use graphical for now. Example. So I'm going to click graphical. Now I'll click on next. Now Nigeria is better I put it on 3 degree for now and put this on 3 degree again. That is every degree. So I'm going to use 3 degree. I will leave everything by default, which I will come back to finish. Now when you click here and click apply, you will see what you have created. So for me, 3 degree is bad and not bad. So I want to change it to 4 degree. So I will return back here and click on this. Go to the interval and change this to 4 and change this also to 4. Yeah, click OK, click apply. Now you see the way it it is perfectly much better than
Okay.
what it is now.
Oh,
So I am okay with the way it is, yeah, the way it is splitting it now. Now, but if I click OK, you see that it have a small size, and this one having the orientation this way. You can see the way orientation goes here. I will go to property again. Now let's address that. In addressing that, you see here, there is nothing to change here. This is perfect. Go to the interior, perfect. Go to the label. I want to change this label to this kind of font, depending on font you want. I want to put it in 12 and I want to bold it. Now, I want the vertical side, which is here, to be oriented to turn right. So I'm going to say vertical orientation, line orientation, orient left and orient right. Now, I'm going to the hatching, no problem, interval, no problem. So I'll click OK and I'll click apply. And you see it coming like this. You can see this orientation, and this come this way. Now, sometimes I don't like this line because it blocks me sometimes. I can choose to use, I go to the properties, I can change the line, which is here, you have line. I can put it to ticks and then to tick, and then I'll click apply and it will put the dot line for me. Now sometimes I don't like the dot line. I want to still use line, but the line that is smart, I'll go to the line and then I will edit the line. So I want to put it at 6.6 and I will change this line to a bit gray of 40% and reduce this thing to 0.1, and then I will click apply and I will click OK and I will click apply and I will have this in this form. So for me, for now, this is how I'm going to leave my own. So when you will be doing your own, you can leave it in a better way of your choice. But for me, I want to use this dotted line a bit. Then when I'm done, I'm going to click here, click export. And when export now, you see automatically this will replace the other one. So you see the reason why Nigeria is located in 4 degree and that is 4 and 14 because it's within that zones. Then here and here, this is a way I can export it into PDF. And then if the person you are working for asks you to send him a PNG or JPEG file, you also need to go do the same export, or you want to use it as a picture, so you also need to do the same export and then save it as a PNG. So you can select the file format here as PNG. No, one is 1000, so let's still use 300 and then click on this and you click export and it is exported. If you go to the folder, you will see
that
that
PNG is for what?
that is for picture, like if you want it like a picture.
Okay.
Yeah, like I want to use this on my WhatsApp status now. This is the one I can use. This is in PNG,
Okay.
not PDF.
Not JPEG, but
Yeah,
it can be in JPEG.
yeah, you can be in JPEG. PN, these are different type of file format. So any one of your choice you use. Now you can see the map now. It is far better and better than what we had earlier. So this is where we can stop for today. And then, is that okay? Do you have a question?
Yes, sir. No, no.
All right, so you are going to replicate this same thing I do, and then you are going to submit the assignment. Is that okay? This is the first assignment.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so this is the first assignment. At any point in time you have an issue, you can always get to me.